All right. Welcome in. So this is going to be a long form programming for professional wellness professionals with SNP nutrigenomics. And what we want to do today is show you how I would read Kim's report. So you can always refer back to this on how to read one of your clients' reports. And then Kim brought in a couple of her supplements that she uses from 10X Health, Gary Brecka's program, and we are going to um, look at her code complex, which is her personalized supplement based on her genes, and Gary's program that does the same to see if there's any differences and look at costs. And then Kim also had a question on what was the last thing you wanted to talk about today? Was like go over your genes, look at these. Oh, and then you had some mold like reports,
Yeah,
like labs.
just to see where I am now after going through treatment and supplementing and how the genetic report helped me to understand why I got sick and why I was affected by the mold and
Right.
how I can prevent myself from getting sick again from mold or any other airborne thing based on my body's struggle with detoxing.
Perfect. Okay. So Kim, I want to hand you the mic and just introduce yourself to any of the wellness professionals.
Right, my name is Kim. Sorry for the appearance. I just had a little bit of peeling stuff done for my skin because I had some skin issues with all the oxidative stress that my body went through with the mold poisoning. But my name is Kim, and I've been in the wellness industry most of my life. I owned a yoga studio for 10 plus years, always taken great care of myself. I studied nutrition in college, sports medicine, and never had any health issues. And so I was plugging along, running, biking, eating super clean. Like my friends always referred to me as the healthiest person they know. And then in 2021, I pretty much crashed. Literally couldn't get out of bed, could barely walk half a mile, couldn't think straight. I lost my job. I'm also known for my sense of humor and laughing at life, and
Right.
there were no jokes to be found. I just couldn't find it. And it was over a year before I was able to find a solution or find a diagnosis, why I was having all these symptoms, why I was having ulcerative colitis. I lost 10 pounds, all the things, but it turned out I had toxic mold, mold poisoning from mycotoxins, specifically black mold that was off the chart. So once I also was able to get my genetics tested, it shows it's so clear that I need to support my detox pathways for the rest of my life. And one in specific was glutathione. And for probably 6 months, I was getting weekly pushes of glutathione to kind of get my body caught up and saturated. And then since then, I've been on a maintenance program. So I had to do hardcore treatment, and now it'll be maintenance through what I know about my genetics forever. And when I travel, I know what I need to bring. I know how to support myself. So it's not a detox that you do in and out of life. This is a way of life to help your body. And when I say detox, I'm not talking about a juice cleanse.
Yeah.
I'm talking about keeping the daily toxins out of my body so that my liver's never overloaded.
More tolerance.
Yeah. Yep,
And
more tolerance, and so that the bucket doesn't fill up again.
Yep.
That it's constantly being emptied, even if it's drop by drop, instead of being filled up. So it's getting filled up and it's being empty. So it's, working in a healthy manner.
I love it. So tell us why you chose to like be a wellness provider. Like why is the genetics interesting to you?
Well, for me, because it was the key to me healing and for the future, and I wanted to put purpose to my pain.
Yes.
And I made a pact with God that if I got out of this and when I got out of this, that I was going to put purpose to my pain.
Yep.
And I naturally am a people person and I want to be of service, whether or not I give anybody a dime. I mean,
Right.
when I had my yoga studio, the things that I did for people, which I don't need to tell examples of it, did not make me a dime, but it
Right.
fulfilled my purpose.
Yeah.
So now this is the next step. It's more about health and wellness and the fitness aspect, which I already know. So now it's more about recovery, maintenance, longevity, and feeling the best you can based on actionable genes. So as there's a ton of things in our genes, some that we maybe can't take action on, but there's the ones that we test for, you actually can based on lifestyle and supplementation. So I want to pass that on to as many people as I can.
Perfect. What are you hoping to learn about today with your genes? So I make sure that you talked about like weaknesses
Yeah.
that, it's particularly around the detox, but is there anything else that you want to make sure the sensitivities?
Yeah, food sensitivities. I'd
Yeah,
love to look at that because I
okay.
know that changes and mine has definitely changed over time. But detox is the number one, phase 1 and phase 2 pathways, detox pathways.
Okay.
And yeah, that's oxidative stress, get free radicals, and just lifestyle. So those are the main ones. And then what wasn't on my last test was the comp. So, and I'm slow.
Yes.
So I want to look at, I know there's some things with that.
Big
So
time.
apparently I'm a worrier,
Yes.
but I know I'm also a warrior because I know how to control the worrier and I become a warrior.
That's right.
So that's
right.
when you know better, you do better.
Oh, that's right.
That's what Maya Angelou says.
No, oh my God. Here, let me take
Yeah.
this from you. So this is going to be good. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. And the first thing we're going to do is we get to the SNP dashboard. Okay. So if you go to Wellness Professional, that's where you would sign up. There's no charge. And then you can choose to purchase your wellness kit that gets shipped to you. And so then once you're in, then you can go to you swab yourself and you can get your DNA reports. These come after 3 weeks. And so what you see here is the summary report, which we go into first. And then all the different 10 reports are below here that are targeted for methylation, inflammation, immune. So we might look at Kim's detox because that is her like biggest area of importance. So if we click on view summary report, you have a lot of reds. Okay. So this here is the 2 genetic variants, which need more significant nutritional and lifestyle support, while the yellows are going to just be the heterozygous, the 1 SNP or 1 variant. And so these are different from when you tested before. So we're going to talk about the VDRs. Okay.
Yep.
All right. And then like she mentioned, she does want to talk about this CompT, which is definitely one that Gary Brecka looks into when meeting with his clients. He tests for 5 genes. We test for 103. So,
Yeah.
and we customize the formula on 22, and these are the heavy hitters. These are the big hitters.
Big ones.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
I think the mold comes in.
definitely.
That
So,
and liver health.
oh, for sure. So
I've always had interesting numbers for my liver, but I'm a non-drinker.
right.
And a lot of it would say alcohol, and I'm like, I don't
What
drink
the hell?
alcohol.
So that's the fatty
Yeah.
liver. So
Yeah.
exactly what, Ziggy Clavin from Deliverance talks about these days. It's like, you don't have to be an alcohol drinker to have fatty liver
Yeah.
and to have liver dysfunction and not just wait until the AST and the ALTs on your blood tests are elevated
Yeah.
to take action.
AST and ALTs are always off.
Wow.
I don't have fatty liver, but they're always off. And so I would do research on it and
Yeah.
tell the doctor, and he just would say, oh, I wouldn't worry about it. I don't know. And I'm like, I'm not a drinker. Like,
Right.
so why are these numbers alkaline phosphate, ALT, and one other, but
Alkaline
constantly?
phosphatase.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I see that off a lot
Yeah.
on people. And so it's great to have
Who
it
can't
be
detox.
who can't detox.
Yeah. Or they need assistance detoxing.
Yeah.
Their body is slow.
So,
Okay.
so here Kim's talking about the EPHX1. So that's going to be your phase 1 detox. And then her phase 2 is that GSTP1. But before we do, what I do with everyone is we look at for the MTHFRs and we look at the MTRRs because these are the biggest hitters because they are the ones that are basically the first domino in the chain. And if they're not donating those methyl donors, then they're not turning on the genes you want turned on or off the genes you want turned off. So
Okay.
we always go to the methylation genes. So like Tim mentioned, that MTRR is red.
Yeah, we have bad tickers in our family.
Tickers. So
Yeah.
it's moving that homocysteine, which is the inflammation, into methionine, and we use B12 to do that. And if that pathway is stuck, weak, you're not taking that inflammation or, and moving it into the water soluble methionine. And so basically that it's just an inflammation that's not
And I
being
think that's why
recycled.
my blood tests always reveal off the charts B12.
Yeah, of course. Do
And in
you
my
listen to
doctor
this?
says, stop taking things that have extra B12. I said, I don't take anything with extra B12.
So and I've seen this with other clients with MTRRs, it's you're actually not absorbing the B12.
Yeah.
So it's really important to have the right format. And if the format isn't working, maybe a sublingual, different format, because basically it's not getting into your cells. You're eating a ton, you're getting enough, but it's not entering into your cells.
Yeah. And I think it's all about supplementing correctly and I'm sure
Cofactors.
that these things are
Yes.
helping, but then the code complex will,
It's all designed with nutrigenomics is designed
yeah.
to not just have the right format of the B12, be oral, but all the different cofactors and levels of Bs. So they all work synergistically together.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about that.
And what's interesting is I've always known we have bad heart history in my family.
Yep.
I didn't know we had bad detox. I mean, who would know that? But I did know about my heart. So I've always lived a certain way. And I do know my grandmother was obese. So my entire life, I had a very healthy diet, very heart friendly diet, and I've moved my body. So those genes haven't expressed
There you
in
go.
ways that I knew. The B12, I didn't know, but in other ways, I don't have any calcium buildup. I've had complete heart review. So that's really interesting that when you know something, you can take action, but when you don't know, you think you're doing everything right,
Yes.
but then you can still go flat on your ass.
Well, but I love that Kim's mentioning here that these are the actionable genes. We're not
Yep.
looking for risks here. These are genes that we can take action on that change with good diet, good lifestyle.
Yeah, not genes that you can't fix that just going to scare you.
Yes.
Now you're scared.
Now you're
These are
scared.
things
Yeah.
like, oh, look I can do something about this.
Yes.
I don't have to go down the same path.
No.
Yeah.
As my family members. So, so with the MTRR, we'll go into the supplementation and just, when we look at your code complex to compare. But here we talked about this GSTP1. This is detoxification. This is phase 2, but this is particularly implicated in environmental toxins and particularly airborne toxins. So when you say what was my weakness around the mold toxicity? Why did I go down so hard? Why wasn't it somebody else in the condo complex why was I getting affected?
Yeah. I was
Particularly with my
affected.
lifestyle.
2 out of 5 people, him and I were both affected crazy, but his lifestyle wasn't as good as mine.
Mhm.
One was affected a little bit and one was not affected at all.
See?
Yeah. And just so you know, I also remember them coming in those hazmat suits and spraying right in front of my window.
Yes.
And I had my doors open.
But so she's talking about the pesticide herbicides.
Herbicides, yeah. With no warning. And so that was airborne, right? I mean, I'm sitting on my patio watching this guy and I'm like, I don't think that this is
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
So,
Yes.
and I'm really sensitive to car exhaust if I'm outside on
Yes.
my, bike and
That's
all that.
all the GSTP1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So what I'll show you guys, what's in her code complex specifically designed for this gene to support this phase 2 detoxification and all those pathways that are included in phase 2.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what she did discuss is these FTO genes. This is the fat gene. So this one is the hormones ghrelin and leptin are implicated in, as well as blood sugar. So Kim she talks about being hungry a lot.
Everyone talks about this girl is always eating. I'm always hungry. So
Yeah.
I really make it a point, and I've done this most of my life. It's not about weight, but about how I feel. Like I don't feel good if I don't eat certain foods and if I don't eat healthy. So I just eat really healthy, but I eat a lot. Yeah.
So here's the thing with her, this FTO gene is not expressed.
Yeah.
You don't know, see a little petite Kim next to me, but so what this is that it's somewhere along in your lineage, your ancestors knew to whatever calories they were taking in, they utilized them more efficiently than other people.
Yeah.
So it was a very adaptive gene, mutation or variant.
Yeah.
But in this day and age, we don't need any help
No.
uptaking more calories,
No.
right? And bringing in some
And
more.
my mom's mom was definitely obese.
Right.
She was a big lady.
Yeah.
Teeny, shorter than me,
Yeah.
but square.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's the thing with the FTO is that the ghrelin is that hunger hormone. And so that's like, those feelings of just constantly hangry or hunger.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
have it right now, and I had a double smoothie
right,
like with an hour ago. I could eat another meal
right,
easy.
right. So what I'll show you guys, because I have this SNP as well, not in red,
Yeah.
but this one gets expressed easily for me and it has been my whole life.
Yeah.
So we really have to manage our blood sugar.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
so having healthier foods that help to manage an even blood sugar. So the proteins are really
Yeah.
helpful for us, right? We're not
Mhm.
having too many of the simple carbs. It's just going to throw our blood sugar up.
Mhm.
And then the leptin and ghrelin, the leptin is feeling satiated. And so there's this dihydroberberine that I'll show you in your format, but this one particularly is like nature's Ozempic in the sense that what it does for me, it helps to alleviate that I'm hangry.
Yeah.
I don't feel full, right? That
Yeah.
feeling of being satiated.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you talk to people with FTO SNPs, like, so my husband has red FTOs. He could give two shits about food. He couldn't care less. Doesn't have these things, right?
Yeah.
And so it just is so interesting. I see a lot of people that have tested that have reds on these
Yeah.
in the membership, but they're fine.
Yeah.
So it's a lifestyle expression for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know people I know will test positive for this, and they'll just keep eating massive amounts of food.
Right.
They want more, and so they'll get more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're
No.
really efficient at uptaking that calorie. So
Yeah.
you and I could have a ton of calories, right? And our body efficiently stores that shit and uses it, right? And
Yeah.
so it's like that's the problem is we don't want to be so efficient at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this APOB, I have a red marker on. So this one talks about this one particularly is implicated in high LDL. Do you have high LDL? Yeah, so that's
have not
genetic.
always, but a little bit, but it's been able to be offset
Mhm.
because my HDL is
So
are
nice.
high. And
Yeah.
I guess as long as it's over 60, you're protected from heart disease, is what
Yes.
I've heard.
Nice.
So mine's usually around 80.
Wow. Excellent.
Yeah.
There you go. And so this EPHX1 is phase 1, like I mentioned. And so for her, the liver detox, she's got a red marker on her phase 2, and phase 1, she's got a yellow. And so any support, she just is going to always support her liver and digestion
Yeah.
for the rest of her life. Now, this SOD2 is really interesting for me because this one is along the glutathione pathway. This
Yeah.
is superoxide dismutase. This is an enzyme that helps take the it's along the pathway to make glutathione. So if you can have the enzyme work, then it creates water. Again, it's like a water soluble into glutathione. But if it's not working, then it creates hydrogen peroxide, which is so weird. So this is where if people have this turned on, they have gray hair and they age quicker because they're not their body's not making the glutathione.
I went so gray, and even my skin turned gray. And I
Yep.
swear to God, I aged 10 years when I was sick.
Yep.
Literally.
And that's why when she talked about her glutathione pushes, she wasn't making enough. So her body she needed
Yeah. I need
that support. Yes. Okay. So my husband has an SOD2, I think a red marker. He has gray beard, gray hair, He's all gray.
Yeah, it looks good on men.
It looks good on men.
That's a fact.
So, but that's that SNP. Okay. And there's also some, you know, with the SOD2, like his father has Parkinson's disease. With the, neurodegeneration, it's like we need glutathione for so many processes. It's our master antioxidant in the body. So again, let's support these markers as best we can so that we don't have these chronic disease states come through.
Yep.
And then interesting with all these VDRs, we test for 4 VDRs with SNP nutrition, and Kim has 3. She has 3 deficiencies on 3 vitamin D markers.
Look at that.
And
That's
so,
integrity.
yep.
I do everything you possibly can do to prevent osteoporosis
Yep.
or osteopenia
Yep.
through nutrition. And I've always
Exercise.
lifted weights and
Yeah.
exercise. I mean, there's nothing more that I could possibly do. Even my doctor, who's he's like, Kim, this must be genetics because there's nothing on the list I can give you that you're not already doing. Nothing. So that's interesting because I have it was osteopenia, and then I
Mhm.
got sick and it went right to osteoporosis in my lower back.
So you'll see in your code complex how much vitamin D, D3 and K2 is going to be in your formula.
Yeah.
You're going to be wildly surprised. So what I'm hearing from Dr. Gundry and a lot of different people that I read, Dr. Del Bredesen, the Alzheimer doctor, is like up to 10,000 IUs of freaking vitamin D daily is something that they are recommending, even UCSD's research. So
Yeah.
you're probably not taking enough.
Yeah.
And you're going to be taking more daily to
Yeah.
support not just your immune system, but sounds like bone health, particularly for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Cool. So lastly, we want to talk about this comp T. I've had now 3 different clients with a slow compt and 3 different clients with a fast compt. As Kim mentioned, she's always doing her homework, but this slow is a worrier. And what this means is that she has neurotransmitters like serotonin, like dopamine, like norepinephrine and epinephrine. They all hang out in her brain longer than most people. And this allows for her to basically really do an excellent job at work, stay happy, have that sense of humor, be upbeat, very productive. It is an absolutely beautiful marker to have, except when there's more stress than she'd like. And so when her body, when she has more stress in her life than her body can handle, then the neurotransmitters it's too much push on her brain, essentially, and they're not being metabolized quickly enough. And so you get stressed easily.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been called a worrier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So she's talked about how she can manage this with lifestyle and life experience and what's that?
I'm covering from the sun because I'm by a window
Oh, okay, yeah.
for my skin stuff.
So it's a beautiful marker to have, but it's also requires, stress management and there's some nutrients that you can take to support, with adaptogens and stress support for this CompT. So you can metabolize your neurotransmitters with ease. So you're not feeling that worrier. Like my husband has a slow compt, and I've had another client that has it too. And what happens is that they don't sleep. It shows up for them in insomnia or sleep
If
disruption.
I don't sleep, like the other night, 2
Yeah.
nights ago, I was woken up in the middle of the night. I was up for a couple hours. And this morning, I usually get up at 5, but I was woke up at 4:15
Right.
and was up for a half hour with that. And yeah, I'm exhausted and I'm usually energy,
Yeah.
energy, energy. So you definitely, with all the genetic codes that I have, I'm a 7 to 9 hour person.
Yes.
And I don't recover well if I don't. It takes a couple of days. So I'm aware of that. And I pay really close attention to my sleep hygiene.
Well, and you know what gene marker is implicated in that is actually less of the CompT, but more of the MTRR. So this MTRR, you
yeah.
guys need at least 9. It's like 8
Yeah.
to 9 is
8 to
ideal.
9. My circadian rhythm too, I stick to it. Like people kind of make fun of me, or they're like, I have mad respect for you that you go to bed at 8:30.
Right.
Because you get up early, you move your body, you're out at first daylight. Like,
Yeah.
and I do that, but I don't do it because I just have created a routine that's going to make me feel the best, that is in
Mhm.
alignment
Right.
with my body.
Yep.
And what it needs.
Yep.
And now that's confirmation, because that's
Mhm.
exactly when I learned to do that. Well, naturally, my body wants to do that, but I don't always want to go to bed at 8:30, but
Sure.
I get tired and I do. And it just, so you have to make all these little choices, and then, but it just makes sense now why my body
Mhm.
needs that. When you get to see these, you're like, okay, I'm not crazy.
Yep.
When the world tells you, you need to adjust your lifestyle, you need to stay up later. And I'm like, why do I have to do that?
Right.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to take care of yourself.
That's right. No,
Listen to your genes.
listen to the genes. And this last one, the CoQ10, she has a yellow marker on it. Just means that she's going to get the right format of the CoQ10 for mitochondrial support. Okay, so that's her summary report. And so then if we go here, we're going to get into the customized formula. And this is for everyone. And so here, frozen again. Oh, here we go. Is all of her vitamins, and they're multi, is here. And then I'll show you where you can find the proprietary formulations for her genes. So as I was mentioning, that D3, you have a shit ton. Okay. That's might be the most I've seen, which is no, I've seen maybe even more, but that ends up being around 8,000 IUs of D3 daily, Kim. Daily.
Daily. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they have the K2 in there to have it be exactly formatted to be in balance.
With it.
Yeah. Okay. And then she's gonna have I want to look at um her B12. There's her methylcobalamin. So it's already pre-methylated. This is the right format. It's not synthetic. And she's going to have a ton of micrograms. So just looking at with her format here, this is the methylfolate, which is going to be that quadrifolic. It's a registered trademark brand. So this one is 1,000 micrograms. You're at 371. So interesting that because this is not necessarily based on your genes,
Yeah.
specific.
I just got it because I wanted to get it.
Sure. So now, she doesn't need to be taking as much. She has the right format, but it's really going to be, so this one is just showing you, this is just the, the methylfolate, right? And so she was taking too much. She didn't need as much as what she was taking. And then this one, the B12, the hydroxycobalamin, which is a different format, they are using methylcobalamin, and that's 800 milligrams. She needs double that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's for 3.
And that's for
I only need
3.
1.
Right, right.
And is it the same format?
It's
So
not. It's not a
not?
different. It's hydroxyl cobalamin, which
Oh,
I
okay.
can, because this one again, we're really trying to use the top, the best,
Based on.
based
what my
on
body-
yeah, and
It'll be
the
interesting
genes.
for me to test my blood in 3 months and see if my B12 has actually gone down, based on, even though this.
Yes,
Up, because
yes.
then I'll be able to actually be converting it the way it's supposed
Correct.
to.
So do you just hear that? So what Kim's going to do, it takes about 4 to 6 months for your body to uptake more of these natural like supplementations.
Yeah.
For a whole red blood cycle to move through. So in 4 to 6 months, Kim can do a lab test to see if her B12 is actually converting, if her cells are utilizing the B12. So what she wants to see is that her B12 levels are going down.
Yeah.
Great. So she's got a ton more zinc than I do. There's no, let's see. And see all the B6, all the Bs are all cofactors and formulated specifically to be synergistic. And then here, this is the proprietary base blend. So these are what we call all the greens and reds. So this is just, you know, all the beautiful prebiotic and powders and everything to support the gut health and cellular, you know, support. And then here are all the digestive enzymes. So given that you've had ulcerative colitis and gut issues in the past, these are great because we don't, as we age, we don't make as many digestive enzymes.
Yep.
So they're all in here. And then here's your BDR blend. So I'll show you exactly, that's just showing you how much of the vitamin D. This APOB, you need the full amount because you have a red marker. So 1 full gram of, there's your resveratrol, which is a great antioxidant, as you know. So you already take it. You already know it's in your formula.
That
Yeah, with your curcumin and green tea. And then here's your AC11. This is a registered trademark blend. So if you were to go out and just buy this formula by itself, it's $60 just for this proprietary formula alone because of the frankincense and the astaxanthin. So these are very expensive herbs.
Okay.
And this is 830 micrograms in there for your comp T and for stress support. Here's your FTO blend. I wish I had this amount. You have 625 milligrams. This is that dihydroberberine. I looked this up just to buy the dihydroberberine alone. Again, it was $60 a month for just this format.
Is that blood sugar management?
That's blood sugar management. It's the nature's Ozempic. That's going to help with the fat gene in quotation marks.
Hungry?
So you're not always hungry. And so what I have to say about this though, is when I take my full therapeutic dose. So if I muscle test and I'm only taking 5 for a day, or if I just take 3, or if I take 8, if I take the full 10 in a day, that's when I specifically notice that I'm not as hungry. So I make sure to take my full therapeutic dose on the days where I'm feeling I'm feeling unsatiated. Okay, so there's your MTRR. So just as Gary Brecka has talked about, this is the betaine, this is the trimethylglycine. This is really helpful in breaking down proteins and utilizing them. This is huge for the MTRR blend or genetic variants. So that's in there for you. And then there's your phase 1 detox blend. This is the milk thistle, the broccoli sprout extract, which is hugely supportive for the one of the phase 2 pathways too. And look at how much it just keeps going and going. Burdock root.
Broccoli as beneficial. I know broccoli sprouts are like a super food.
Superfood.
So you still get quite a bit of benefits from broccoli as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. But this broccoli sprout is in very hugely beneficial. The science is crazy for it. And then the SOD2 is that spirulina. So interesting when I talked about that superoxide dismutase enzyme, what you need is spirulina specifically to turn that enzyme on.
Okay. I actually drink a green drink, and the first ingredient is spirulina.
Perfect. So now as she's
But I don't drink it every day.
right. So then she can get it every day. And the idea here is that with the resveratrol, with the broccoli sprout, with the spirulina, like she doesn't have to take a million different things, right?
Yeah.
She can just put it all away and she knows she's getting everything in her code complex that she needs. And then here's her red GSTP1. This is 250 milligrams. There's more broccoli. There's more quercetin. This is more resveratrol. And then a little bit of amothione, which is a registered trademark of glutathione. We don't want to do too much because we want your body to make your own, but you get some oral glutathione daily.
Okay. Yeah, I take oral. I take liposomal glutathione.
Yep.
Every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the idea here is that maybe you can put that money that you're spending in the liposomal into your code complex.
Yep.
And then finally the CoQ10. So she needs a little bit of the biquinone and then a biquinol. So mixed blend. That's what is supportive of her yellow marker of her CoQ10. for
Okay.
her mitochondria. And that is her formula. So you can download this. What I've done for clients is compare and contrast. So we just, showed you the folate and the B12, like she wasn't getting enough in this formula.
Not enough and too much. Okay.
Okay, so the last thing I want to do is go into her food sensitivities, and this is always so interesting to me. So what you do is you go down to the full DNA SNP results and you hit view. And these are the 103 different genes. And so there's constantly trainings with the scientific advisor, Nurse Andy, and our CEO, Kim Russler, to go through some of how to interpret all these different genes and where to categorize them with clients.
Oh, yeah, I was
So-
wondering I didn't know what these meant.
Yeah,
That
so
would
we,
be interesting.
yes,
Such a map.
yes. So if you go here to, oops. Um, sorry, it's like the internet is not happy. Just have to snip or have to edit this. Here we go. Okay. So if you go to education, if you go down to, there's all these replays of all this training, but here's the download, the quick reference guides. So where we're going to go is down to the bottom where it has, there's the summer skin one. Okay. So you can look at that. So this is the food intolerances. So what you do is you're like, oh, okay, let's look at the HLA, DQ, A1 and A2 for gluten. So if Kim has some red, yellow, or green markers on gluten. So what you do is I do Control F and I go to HLA. So there's the DQ A1 and A2. And so it's a CC and an AG. So you go to your quick reference guide, CC and AG. So you have a green on one and a yellow on the other. Okay. So how I've had to learn the hard way. I had a green on one and a red on the other. And unfortunately, I have to be gluten-free. I've tried a million ways to Sunday to try and figure out how much I can have. I just can't have really
I'm
any.
pretty much gluten-free,
So you're gluten-free for your immune system. It's going to be
which
supportive
makes me feel better.
and it just makes her feel better.
Okay. Joints or so I've just been, I diagnosed myself as a glutard when I was like 16. Wow. Because I realized pretzels were making me feel crappy and I didn't know what it was in pretzels. And then any kind of thing like that, I had to self-diagnose because I got migraine headaches, all sorts of things with different food. I was allergic to milk, dairy gave me migraines. And so, yeah, I self-diagnosed.
So let's look at the lactose, speaking of. So if we go to the it's the MCM6. So we go here, we go MCM6, and it's a GA. So I know that's going to be a yellow marker. So there it is, moderate risk. Okay.
Yeah, I would say that because I have good quality yogurt and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but I don't have a lot of dairy unless it's good dairy.
And then the final one is the caffeine metabolism, and which this is also really interesting because this one is implicated in alpha toxins mold too. So I have a red marker on this. We just, do not metabolize.
Metabolize.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see what I am for that because
Yeah. CYP
I
1A2.
drink too much coffee.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it hits me later. That's why.
Right.
I don't know. It says.
So it's an AA, and if we go here, you're a low risk. How nice.
So does that mean I'm a fast or?
You're a fast metabolizer. And so here's the thing, what I learned, and this is by Dr. Tom O'Brien. You can have up to 4 cups per day, and is supportive of heart health.
Oh, good, because I have 3. But I have mold-free, toxin-free coffee.
Of course,
So I'm
of course.
very particular about the coffee that I drink, and I drink 2, sometimes 3. 2 in the morning and 1 mid-morning.
Meanwhile, I have a red marker. So if I do anything more than 2, I'm increasing my heart risk by like 87%, something insane.
God,
So
I'm
if
so
you're,
happy. This is my one habit that I'm not willing to give up. I said, I'll give up anything. I don't drink wine. I mean, I don't do anything, but I will not give up my coffee and my great coffee maker.
and she doesn't need to.
Yeah. Praise. I mean, not kidding. My partner is like, I'm going to throw the coffee maker in the trash if I have to hear the grinder at 5 in the morning one more day. And I go, well, you better just get used to it. It is not changing.
And
Yeah.
you can tell them, be like, no, it's supporting my heart.
Yeah. You want me to live longer? I said, listen, I have to look at you, eat some of the things that you eat. You're going to have to hear my coffee grinder.
in
Yeah.
the morning. Oh my God. Okay. Well, tell us your takeaway. What was your big takeaway from today? Yeah.
Well, the caffeine thing is great. Like,
Okay.
I just feel so validated that I
Yes.
can do that.
Yes.
And the B12,
Uh-huh.
you know, because that's always been curious. And the fact that I've had bad liver markers well, I mainly noticed this when I was sick, because trying to figure it out.
Right.
But then I went back, because you have now, with all these great portals, you can have access to blood work from a decade ago,
Right.
but they've always
Trend.
been slightly elevated.
Yeah.
And then they've never gone away. And then they'll show you the trends of it. So that's a takeaway, that learning about how I'm constantly going to have to support my liver, and then seeing the difference too with the code complex. And if I can take away some of the other liposomal supplements
Yeah.
that I have, and then, you know, obviously I'll keep some of them. I'll keep a probiotic and a prebiotic, and I'll keep my omegas.
Yep.
And one other. I'll probably wean off glutathione, but take what I have, just because that's like my security blanket.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I
In a
think
print.
really all you really need, if after the code complex, is the probiotic and the omega.
Yep.
Am I missing one? I felt like there might be 3.
Magnesium.
Oh yeah, and magnesium. And I take magnesium at night to help me sleep and
Yeah.
relax.
Yes.
And plus, you just want to keep saturating your body with magnesium, because
Yeah.
it's, you know, most of us are kind of low in it,
Absolutely.
and it makes me sleep better. So
Perfect.
yeah,
Do you take the bisglycinate or glycinate? Do you know what format you take to sleep?
it's a combination of the theanate.
Okay,
Theanate,
L-theanate.
and theanate and glycinate. So it's a combination. And one of them I take is from biooptimizers. And then another one is just called magnesium, specifically for sleep, but they have different combos.
Okay,
So
cool.
I interchange them.
And this is why Kim Ressler does not have magnesium in the formula, because basically she's like, everyone needs to choose what works for them, what
Yeah.
format and then we need
I'll
to
use
change it up.
citrate if I'm constipated, but I
Exactly.
haven't had that problem for years. But when I was younger and I had issues with like dairy, and I've had stomach issues most of my life.
Mhm.
But it was the opposite. I would be constipated. So I found
Yeah.
out, so I took magnesium citrate, and that was the end of my problem.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So just so you guys know, when it's time to go into, I'm just going to share my screen one last time for ordering. So what you tell your clients is like, usually I ask them, like, most people don't want to go this deep into they just want to kind of jump straight to their formula, and that's totally okay. So when they need to order I tell them to go to their subscription, and then they add a subscription, and they can choose between the capsules, 30-day supply for $159 reoccurring and includes shipping, or a powdered formula. And what I love about this company is that you can choose to have it be shipped every 30 days, 45 days, or 60 days. And you can change it as needed. So
Oh, 'cause
that's
you go slow in the beginning. So in the beginning, you might do it every 45 to 60 days and then go to monthly once you've ramped up.
So this is what Kim's talking about, is tapering. And absolutely, if people have genetic markers on, particularly their liver markers, they might need to go a little lower and slower and taper up with their code complex. Because I know I took 5 in the morning and 5 at night when I first started, and having all those Bs, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I was like on the moon.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Can you take them in the morning and then mid-afternoon?
Yes.
Okay.
And I muscle test and kind of let my body, if I know I worked out hard that day,
Yeah.
I'll take a full 10, but other days, if I'm just kind of like not
Yeah.
as active, I don't seem to need as much.
And what do you like better, the powder versus the pills? Or you
I'm-
always just taking the pills?
I'm always taking the pills. Okay. I think that's it for now. Thank you so much, Kim.
You're very welcome.
All right.
We'll report back.
Cool.